already done. Always thinking it's gonna be
I don't
done.
know, we're gonna try 2 in a row.
Hello,
Hi. Welcome to In the Shop with
Ben and
Glenn and
Andy.
what the hell? Another guest? Hell yeah.
2 in a month.
2 in a month, or well, you won't have any idea when. I think we're gonna get this edited maybe for sometime next year. So this is not a holiday show, but it's the holidays.
Exactly right.
So we have a guest.
You're not going to turn this around overnight.
Me? No.
Oh, okay.
I heard there's a party tonight.
I heard the same.
And no, I won't be editing video. It probably wouldn't be a good thing if I edited video tonight.
Could be
How
your best.
many
How did
bottles?
you know?
What's that?
How many bottles did you send me?
Bottles?
A picture of bottles.
We're sitting good. It's bubbles and bourbon tonight. So we have a couple magnums of Mum. Those are big ones, big bottles. And I think we have 6 bottles of bourbon.
Yikes.
That's a lot.
It's
But it's
enough.
good.
It's enough. It's enough. It'll get us through there. Anyways, welcome to the shop. This is always interesting because we always try to pick a topic. Sometimes we don't have a real topic at all. We've been on this journey to clean the shop. So we've made a lot of progress. Look at it.
Well, there's enough room for us to sit here.
Yes, again. Well, the band was right here, so it's there. So tables, you know, from other videos, they're getting refinished, and I'm working my way through that. We've been out in
The fort.
the fort, putting in some footings. The fort, that's kind of fun. Kelvin and Hobbs.
Fort footings.
Yes.
Gross.
Gross. What was the acronym for gross?
Get rid of slimy girls.
Get rid of slimy girls. Don't come in the fort.
I like it.
Kelvin and Hobbs. But obviously there's a guest. His name's Andy. Andy Fisher.
Present.
Present. This goes back, otherwise Dr. Fisher. This goes back to high school. So kind of a cool thing. We'll put a link down below, so you'll want to go check that out before we continue. Builds houses, builds little shacks out
Right.
west now.
Right.
Shacks.
Just small little cabins on the lake. Really.
In the mountains. So does some really, really freaking amazing work. I've had the pleasure to tour, not all of them, but most of them on our journeys out west. Out west is
Bigfork, Montana.
the Montana. So another Montana connection.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom. Down there. He's in Wisdom. He's so
very
smart.
wise.
He's
Yes.
so smart. He's the one that doesn't like Montana beer, though.
Oh.
He doesn't like Black Star.
Well, yeah. I can see that.
There is that. So, yes, that's Tom. Another
Hi, Tom.
Montana connection. That is so good.
It is good.
That is so good. Connection is we graduated together in Farmington,
That's correct.
the high school.
You gonna forfeit the year? Or is that
That's obvious.
okay?
The 80s.
The 80s.
80 something.
The 80s. Thank God there were no digital phones back then and
No kidding.
all that fun
Actually
stuff
had film.
to keep track of us. He wandered, kind of like Kung Fu Theater, the grasshopper finding his way.
Sure.
Many places. That's a good way to put it, isn't it?
Well, not many places, but yeah, a couple.
The couple places, but ended up down, so where we are in the shop, Farmington's that way, that's where we're pointing there. In Faribault at the tech school.
Correct.
And started working with
Fine Woods.
Fine Woods. Was it? It's more construction, wasn't it?
No, at first it was, it's all construction. Actually, out of college, I started doing permanent wood foundations,
Yes.
which isn't exactly fine wood, but
Yeah.
it definitely made you learn plumb level square.
That was with the McDonald's.
Correct. Done all
Going.
the construction.
And the cool thing I remember about that is Fauché Tower, which was the tallest building in Minneapolis, Minnesota for a long time, is on a
Wood foundation.
wood foundation.
No way.
True.
Did not know
True.
True enough.
We could end right now with all the knowledge there.
I can tell you my old farmhouse was on a wood foundation.
Yeah?
I'd never do that again.
It didn't end so well.
Did not end so well. We had a nice little river coming right through the wall.
Oh, yeah. So not permanent waterproof foundation.
I wouldn't even call it permanent.
It's still there. Let's see. Ended up from Faribault. Some guy pulled in a Corvette and said,
Ferrari.
Was it a Ferrari? I thought it was a
Yeah.
Corvette.
Well, actually, at that time, it was a Corvette. Then he moved on to a Ferrari.
Then he moved on to a Ferrari. And
Yeah. Past student. Him and his brother built houses in Jackson Hole. So he recruited from Faribault, and me and another classmate headed out that way and built some fine homes there.
ended up in Jackson Hole, which, so those of you know that me on some of the other things, which you'll know there, that's how I ended up in Jackson Hole and falling in love with it, because I would do those solo shots all the way out there to see Andy and ski and have fun and backpack.
Well,
So the cool thing, this is where, say hi to David Young. This is the other David Young. We graduated in high school with a David Young. He's down in North Carolina. But the other David Young is out in South Dakota, and he's put up a bunch of videos of backpack trips
To the Tetons.
to the Tetons. And so our first backcountry experience was up. Did we go up Cascade?
I believe so.
I think we went up Cascade and out
Through Alaska Basin and out.
Death Canyon.
Yes,
Death
that sounds correct.
So there's that.
But that was a long time ago.
I know it was.
Much thinner.
Fit.
Yeah, fit.
Then you somehow took a little trip north for fun.
We kind of vacationed north up to Glacier Park in the Flathead Valley and fell in love with it there and could actually afford real estate there versus Jackson. So we kind of migrated north and still had kind of the same, experience as far as living lifestyle. So
Maybe better.
maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Different, but good.
It's different, but yeah, good.
Really good.
All good.
So, big water up there. Flathead Lake is the largest freshwater lake.
West of the Mississippi.
West, that way, of the Mississippi. So it's kind of cool. So it's really cool. Bigfork itself is like right on the water.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Northeast corner of the lake.
So, as far as your business, you started business up there.
We actually started our business in Jackson Hole in
Okay.
'92.
Oh, that's right.
We
Sal's.
Yep.
Did a couple houses down there.
Yep. So yeah, we're really we are incorporated in Wyoming to do business in Montana, but yeah, since '92, moved to Montana in '94. So it's been a while.
Last century.
Yeah.
So by the time this
Airs.
gets on there, it will be 2020, which is kind of, for me, it's mind blowing. It's like, because 2020, that was
It's another decade.
was freaking out in the future, like a long ways away. Here we are.
Here we are.
Perfect vision for 2020.
Sure. If you say so.
Maybe.
But the weird thing is that 2000 was now 20 years ago,
Yeah.
which is really weird because 1986 was 20 years ago.
Wow.
Anyway.
Well, there. How about that? This is our uplifting show about getting old. So, again, look at Andy's website. There's, we'll put a link down there. We kind of joke about that he builds shacks out there. You've been on the cover of which magazines? Log.
Well, a lot of the local magazines, of course. Flathead Building,
Yep.
Flathead Living, the Build magazine.
Yep.
Cowboys and Indians is probably more of a bigger national chain, urban national magazine.
Timber. isn't there-
Log and Timber. I mean, there's a bunch of little smaller stuff. Out
There's
there.
that other smaller one. What's that one called? Architectural Digest.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean, a house that we built is in there, but
Yes.
it's not about us.
Yeah, but it's a house you built.
Correct.
Possibly one of the neatest houses.
It's interesting.
See how modest he is? It's very, very interesting. Maybe we'll put a link to that, it's called the camp. I think is it called the
Stone Creek Camp.
Stone Creek Camp.
Oh, is this the one you were showing me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all of the
Firewood's cladding.
the cord cladding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The outdoor showers.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was before its time because that was all for pollinators. I mean, all the little
Yeah, bees and
bees and walls.
hornets. Yeah, it's awesome.
Providing habitat.
Yeah,
Providing habitat for all. But pretty cool on all of that. So, question: as we talk about, everybody sees all these fun things here. I could mention we did do what we call the Glacier Classic. We spent 9 days, 8 days, something like that.
Was it that long? It's quite a few days. Belly River out Bowman Lake.
Up to Kootenai, and
Yeah.
a little fishing, a little things, and so we're talking a little bit. One, just Andy, and then just scrap wood in the shop and why you can never throw a piece of scrap wood away again. Some of this was scrap. This was a walking stick made by Andy, and I think he thought we were going to carry this. Then we walked to the end of the sidewalk in the house, and we're like, "You really want to carry that 30 miles?" It's pretty, but
I think it was more than 30 miles, but
I know.
nonetheless, it's
Just
heavy.
one day was 30 miles because we could add.
They have everything in kilometers up there.
Is it 0.7 miles or is it 1.7 miles? Yeah, we can make it. Anyways, multiple woods. After the video, we'll have a test on which woods are in here. I think is there Madook? Madook. Anyways, very cool stuff. From some of the slabbing we did earlier this year, or last year, to build the roof or the ceiling in the suite, we can link to a video there. We slabbed a whole bunch of 1-inch ash and black walnut. So that's what some of these pieces are. And we definitely, I don't know, you have any videos on this or not? On making?
Not yet.
Not yet. But Ben at the Duck Hill Workshop, find that, follow him.
Yep.
He's been working on caricature.
You can say Kootenai,
Kootenai.
but you can't.
Kootenai.
You can't say charcuterie.
Kootenai and Cooteray.
The Canadian Dukes of Hazzard, right?
The Canadian Dukes of Hatter, yeah.
Dukes of Hatter. How many of those have you had?
Just one, the last one. What have you been doing in your shop at the Duck Hill?
I've been going absolutely crazy trying to carve up all these charcuterie boards and cutting boards for the last 3 weeks before Christmas.
So let's look at some of it. That is silver maple.
This is silver maple from the original giant harvest that we made that got us into this whole mess.
That got us. Ben got us into.
Hey, I asked for help. You said yes.
Well, you're like, well, then the backstory is like, well, what word did you use? Who's smart enough, dumb enough, gullible enough to get involved with picking up big hunks of wood? Yeah, Glenn will do it. Sure, let's do
Sign
that.
me up.
There actually is a video of the silver maple harvest.
There.
It's a big
A couple.
tree. Yeah.
There's another trunk over there if we want to go get it.
And in the process of building the garden suite, the dressing room, right where the boys' bathroom is, men's bathroom, there was a very large black walnut that had to come down. Sometime in the future, there will be a video about cutting that tree down and making the mantle. But some of the scrap that was in here, because it was kind of fun, 2 week ago, you were like, oh, this is the last charcuterie board that
Yeah, it was all out of silver maple stuff. So
What about all the scraps in the shop? And so I picked up a couple of pieces. This ash is, maybe we'll take a picture and put it in there. Yeah, the crotch, the figure in there is absolutely.
the sad thing is the other piece that must have come out before that doesn't have any of that feathering in it.
You like that one?
There's nothing like a good piece of ash.
We like big ash.
And I don't know why. Like you're watching Andy fishing.
But that ash also is what came off this made
Yeah.
room for the sweets as
So
well.
the black one, yes. So to put the sweets in, the ash came down on the backside, and that's a piece from here. And then this is the black walnut, one of the crotches too. That's just absolutely ridiculous. The color in there.
It's gorgeous. Looks like a whale tail.
Yeah, I really thought long and hard about if I was going to try and shape that and cut it into like a handle and everything, and it was just too pretty to.
Mess with.
I like it.
And there wasn't a lot of sapwood on that one, was there?
No.
That's pretty interesting. All right.
Beautiful figurine.
So the sad part about this was trying to like figure ways to get rid of the wood besides just burning it, getting there, is that I'll probably end up keeping even more of it because now there's something to do with it. So these are a couple pieces of the ceiling that I made that might end up becoming something else, or firewood. But the other thing we did is Rory, neighbor Rory, say hi to Rory.
Rory.
I dropped off a bunch of this scrap wood, and he,
Much to his wife's chagrin.
yes, Carrie's like, why is there 3 buckets of wood on our porch? I'm like, oh, I was getting it for Rory. He's a beginning, I don't even want to say beginning, but he's starting to turn wood in his back shop, so someday we'll make it there. And actually a lot of work here because
Yeah.
when we did
that's obvious.
when we did the chainsaw milling, we weren't worried about having perfect there, so he spent a lot of time on the joiner to get this stuff flat enough to get this to glue together to turn some really cool wood bowls. So sharing those with us, and this is one he did before out of some oak, and is it all oak? Yeah, maybe a little in there. Anyways, very cool. So don't throw any of your scraps away because
You can use it.
or you find somebody else to use it. And Judd also made a comment in the last one, about the last one, because I asked him about what to do with it, and he said cutting boards.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there will be a cutting board in our future too.
Yeah.
But there will not be any mosaic panels made in our future. Oh, those are so cool. So, yeah, anything else on wood?
Wood's good.
Wood is good. You gotta be good to ski with the wood. That's Jackson Hall. You knew that.
Yeah.
He was the heli ski pilot for the longest time.
Who?
Wood.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Marla knows him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So down there. And that was a joke. You gotta be good to ski with the wood.
That's true.
Up there, Jackson Hole. All right. So there. Save it all. It might be that time.
That time?
That
It's
time.
that exact time.
So, it kind of picked, there's a lot of reasons. We wanted to do, actually what we wanted to do, there's kind of 2 unofficial, official beer sponsors. Kind of wanted to spin the Lake Superior.
Bottles are a bad idea.
Spinning bottles, well actually getting the drill into the bottles,
The hardest
the
part.
hardest part.
We
So
could get a diamond bit.
Could.
make sure you watch our future episodes when we spin beer bottles.
With safety glasses.
We usually do that. So then it became Insight because we like this guy, this little, I think it's a payoff of Babe.
And the Minotaur.
Well, I thought it was a Minotaur, I thought it was Babe with Blue Eyes.
But it's a little bit of both.
There you go. And he had, most people would call it a hatchet, but he actually had a single bevel hewing axe there. So, the unofficial beer sponsor,
Why is that for a left-handed person?
the single bevel. So when you're hewing.
Gotcha.
Oh, there's a video about this too if you want to watch. We'll put a link up here.
Left-handed, right-handed,
I-
or double bevel.
Yes, we hung them both ways.
I like it.
Anyways, stout for our guest, who's rather stout.
Yeah, right. Down here.
Yes. Use that 5. And our unofficial, official tool sponsor of In the Shop episode.
Skill Extra.
The
Extra
599.
The 599.
So it's a skill power tool. So the honor of spinning the beer can.
Oh my. Are you sure? Because it works.
It works.
It has a lock-on trigger.
Oh, a little stealthy guy. Whoa! That's what happens when you do
When you
your
reverse.
tools.
You would know better than I.
Well, something you get to look forward to.
It's the simple things.
Anyways, there we go. Hopefully you had a great holiday season. We're going to have a great holiday season, and then it'll be there.
Yeah.
All
And
of
a
that's
wonderful new year.
wonderful new year. You'll expect to see like 1 or 2 more in the shop videos next year, maybe. On
That's
that
the-
whole thing.
Yeah.
We'll see what we're doing. Make sure you check out Andy's website, Bigfork Builders in Bigfork, Montana. You work like not everywhere, but you'll go as far as Polson,
Yep. Whitefish,
Whitefish,
Swan Valley.
East Glacier, West Glacier, Columbia.
Haven't, but we go in the canyon.
Up to there.
Right project, yeah.
So he turned down the project in Hawaii.
Yeah, that was not really very smart. Really. The older I get, the more that warm climate sounds pretty appealing.
Sounds pretty good. Why did we take the job in Hawaii?
Live and learn.
That woods guy wasn't that big of a project.
No, it would be fine. Oh well.
Oh well. Live and learn. So there. Check out Ben's YouTube channel and all of that stuff. That's down in the description. Duck Hill Workshop. You're on the workshop at the gardens. Thanks for following on. We never say it enough. Like the video,
Subscribe.
subscribe, hit the bell, ding, and follow along as we have fun and do things. Shenanigans. Wood. And all of that stuff. That's all I know.
All right. We're out of here.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
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 How did I do?
How did I do? I don't know. How did you do?
Oh, not very well.
News at 5. Goodness. This is,
No, we actually.
you know what we didn't talk about? The whole thing, the glasses. These were North Star glasses.
Oh, I think I meant safety glasses.
North Star glasses. Probably should have. I hate when that happens. History Museum. You went to the History Museum.
Yeah,
And
that was good.
that was very good. The coolest part was actually there's little mics are still on, so
Okay.
how they do. That is not going to make it in there. Don't lie to me. Up at the History Museum, there's the then and now, or then and yeah, it was
Then and now, wow.
And there was a picture of Bloomington when very little was there in the Met Center.
Met Center was out in the middle of a field,
Yep.
in the middle of nowhere.
And they show it now in Mall of America. And
Yeah,
it's like a 2-lane road, and now there's 494 and Cedar.
yeah.
And so we
That's
picked
the wow.
the Minnesota North Stars. Love you, Wild, but maybe
Back in the day.
win a game for us this year.
Yeah.
So
And don't get smoked every other game.
don't give up halfway through.
Yeah.
There it is.
Cheers. Yeah, it's been that way for a while.
Time just freezes in the shop.
Didn't want the timer to go off again.
Well, that was the quickest 20 minutes I think I've ever experienced. It's fun. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Keeps it interesting.
Yeah. We'll have to have a guest all the time.
Just so you know.
Technical difficulties.